Time is 6 p.m. on this day,
In order,
of
please.
February 2022. I call this business meeting committee of the United Independent School District of Trustees to order. The following board members are present. Mr. Ramirez,
Ricardo Molina.
Ricardo Molina, myself.
Juan Roberto Ramirez.
Letter to show that this meeting has been duly called, that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance to the Texas Open Meeting Act. We will start from the budget reports. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag, allegiance to thee, Texas, state of God, one nation. Is there any public comment?
At this time, we have no public comment.
Agenda Item 3A, budget updates 2023.
Good evening, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, and Mr. Ramirez. Just to bring you some information on our budget process right now, and actually y'all will be taking action next week on boundary changes. So what we'll do is we'll take those boundary changes, move the numbers around, and then Ms. Gonzalez from Human Resources will start doing what we call staffing worksheets. And it's always based on the number of children per grade level in elementary. And then middle school, Sam and his staff with Ms. Gonzalez, we start working to see how many middle school teachers we need. We need to staff Molina Middle, principal, librarian, nurse. And so there's a lot of moving parts at this point. But just to let you know, the enrollment that we're looking at right now is actually almost 500 kids from the enrollment that we have this year. But we're going to be working with Ms. Rendon and her staff to try to figure out, are we going to bring any of those homeschool kids back in? How can we bring them back in? And so again, it's a lot of moving parts, but hopefully next month we can have a little bit more numbers for you all, like the enrollment, the number of kids per grade level, and then we'll let y'all know what we're seeing as far as staffing. But at this point, that's it, and we'll keep working together as a team to get y'all some good information. Thank you.
Thank you. Item B, 2021 delinquent personal property turned over to the tax attorneys to process tax warrants and seizures.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Ramirez, Mr. Molina. The tax office is presenting you with $2,475,530.05 of delinquent personal property that we're going to hand over to Castillo, Reyes, and De Leon law firm for delinquent personal property tax collections.
Do you know how many we're going to be given to?
Well, this particular case right now is 2,029 accounts, and that's the dollar amount, $2,475,000. Later on, when we get to July, we'll start giving them the real property. That's July 1st, so we'll turn over those delinquent taxes at that time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Item C, notice of grant applications intended to be submitted on behalf of the district.
Good evening, board members, superintendent. I bring to you the grants that we're looking to apply for on behalf of the district. We're looking at the Texas Clean School Bus Program from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. It will help us provide some matching funds to replace older buses with newer buses, and the amount of funds is going to be determined. It differs based on how old is the vehicle we want to turn into them or disable them. It's a trade-off. The Innovative Sciences, the Innovative Services for Students with Autism Award from TEA is a grant we're looking at. Working on that with special ed, CNI, and business office to increase local capacity to appropriately serve students with autism and related disorders. The amount there is also to be determined. We have also innovative services for students with dyslexia from TEA. And that's also with the dyslexia department, CNI, and business office to increase local capacity to appropriately serve students with dyslexia and related disorders. Any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. Very well. Agenda item number 4, approval of monthly disbursements.
Yes, sir. So the Division of Finance is presenting you with the disbursements for the month of January. Will any of the board members have any questions over these disbursements at this time?
Item B, approval of property tax refunds in the month of January 2022.
Yes, sir. The tax office is presenting 5 refunds. 4 of them are for erroneous payment. An erroneous payment is when one of our clients will set a payment to the tax office and we can't relate it to a specific account number or dollar amount. So they return it as an erroneous payment. And then we have one overpayment where a client actually will come and pay more than the tax. So they total $12,621.89.
Will that be reimbursed?
Yes, what we do is we present them to you, and then we send a statement notifying these companies that they did overpay their taxes, and they have 3 years to claim it. After 3 years, if they don't claim it, then we go ahead and turn this into general fund miscellaneous revenue.
Any questions?
Item C, approval to adopt the resolution regarding
Review of investments, policy and strategies.
Yes, sir. This is an annual review that we do with you, the board members, for our investment policy and strategies according to the Public Funds Investment Act. We are not making any changes to our strategies or to our policies, and we are not making any changes to the training sites that we're allowed to go to get training in order to make the investments on the district's behalf. However, we are going to make a change to the qualified brokers. These are the individuals that we can actually do investment transactions with. And we're just dropping BBVA because BBVA no longer exists. It was bought out from PNC. So we're just dropping BBVA. That's the only thing.
item D will be tabled.
Yes, sir. Let's table this item. Thank you.
Item E, approval of RF2 number 005-2021. Architectural and engineer designs and construction administration services for a new UISD food service center.
Good evening. The recommendation tonight is to award Able City LLC as the most qualified architectural firm to design the new food production center.
Any questions?
No questions? Thank you.
F, approval of awarding bidding bids, proposals, and qualifications.
The recommendation is for RFP 071-2021. This is our E-rate 25 network infrastructure upgrades. The recommended vendor is M1 Networks, and they're recommended for both Section 1 and 2, which is our eligible and our non-eligible E-rate funds for a total of $2,298,437.42. RFP 041-2021, mowing services for various campuses. The recommended vendors are Triple O Landscaping Inc. and WCD Enterprises LLC, and we also have one renewal for your consideration, which is also which is the data transmission fiber internet services through E-rate. This is funded through our E-rate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item G through K, those were already removed, so we'll jump all the way to item L.
Really quick, Mr. Rodriguez, Stephen Troutman, Jr., Legal Counsel. I believe there's one modification that Ms. Vendon needs to state for the record, if that's okay.
Yes, after meeting with the board members, we're making some recommendations to letter I, Clark Middle, whereas the students who currently belong to Gonzalez Middle School from the Eastwoods subdivision will not be moved to Clark Middle due to distance, expressed concerns that we had. Just for the record, we did have parent meetings for the 23 proposed boundary changes. Looking at that one, sir, and just the domino effect, we will remove those for the board meeting, whereas we will not change the boundary also for, because once they went to Clark Middle, they were going to go to Alexander, so they'll stay at United South High School as well. So it will be a modification on letter J and a modification on letter K as well, noting those changes as discussed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Item L, approval of request of board members for the USD Board of Trustees discretionary funds.
Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Molina, and Mr. Ramirez. In addition to what you have in your packet for the items that are already submitted to you, I have one more request from, John B. Alexander High School from requester Mr. Ernesto Sandoval on behalf of Mr. Castillo, Mr. Montemayor, and Mr. Ramirez for the Alexander High School Dazzler expense for 2 upcoming events, the MA Nationals and the MAWB Ray in Corpus Christi, Texas, for a grand total of $6,000, $2,000 from each board member. We will be submitting that in your packet for approval for next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Or adjourn.